Good day, students! Welcome to our 7th virtual English class with Teacher Carlo. Before we begin to our discussion, let's have a short prayer and checking of attendance to be led by our class secretary. Let's take a look if everybody is here. Is everybody present today? Great! Again, good day. Before we begin to our discussion, let me ask some question first. How did you find your homework about our last topic in our previous session? Great! And now, you may pass your assignment. Before we start in our discussion, can you recall something about our previous lesson? Great! For our introductory activity, I'll be flashing two artworks made by two Renaissance painters. You may describe it vividly in a sentence or in a phrase. Great descriptions! These pictures have something to do with figurative language. You stated that these images are powerful, colorful, and like a beautiful sky. Figurative language paints a diversity of meaning in the minds of readers. Okay, class, for today, our topic is about figures of speech. In this topic, we will classify the different figures of speech in a poem named 7 Ages of Man by William Shakespeare. Let us now read the poem. As of the moment, the poem left us a curious mind for what figures of speech is. And now, I will be giving you some lines based on the poem, and all you need to do is to classify which figures of speech it refers to. The first set of examples are shining morning face, creeping like a snail. Number 2, full of strange oaths and birded like a pard. Number 3, sighing like a furnace. Can anyone guess what are those examples? Great! The first type of figures of speech is simile. A simile is a figure of speech in which two dissimilar objects are compared and the comparison is made clear by the use of terms like, such as, and so. I know you have an idea about simile. Can anyone give me some examples of simile? Great! She is as innocent as an angel. There is an indirect comparison between an angel and a virtue of innocent. The second set of examples are, number 1, all the world's a stage. Number 2, and all men and women are merely players. And number 3, seeking the bubble reputation. Can anyone guess what are those examples? Great! The examples that I stated before are metaphor. A metaphor is a figure of speech where comparison of different things are implied but not clearly stated. In the terms of your experiences here in school, can anyone state some example? Great! The summative assessment in mathematics was a murder. Exactly. There is a metaphor comparison between the exam and a murder. The third set of my examples are, for he's shrunk and he's big manly. Number 2, turning again towards childish treble pipes. Number 3, play his part. Can anyone guess what are those examples? Exactly. My third set of examples are alliteration. It is a stylistic device in which a number of words having the same first consonant sound occur those close together in a series. Exactly. My previous examples are alliteration. It is a stylistic device in which a number of words having the same first consonant sound occur close together in a series. Okay, class, on your previous knowledge about tongue twisters, can you recall some examples? Great. Okay, class, on your previous knowledge about tongue twisters, can you recall some examples? Great. A big bully bits a baby boy. The example is alliterative because the same first letter of words, letter B, occurs close together and produces alliteration in the sentence. And now, here are my fourth set of examples. Infant mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. Number 2, even in the cannon's mouth. Number 3, sans everything. Can anyone guess what are those examples? Great! The examples stated above are hyperbole. Hyperbole is a figures of speech in which an author or speaker purposely and obviously exaggerates to an extreme. It is used for an emphasis or as a way of making description more creative and humorous. It is important to take note that hyperbole is not meant to be taken literally. The audience know it's an exaggeration. Based on the current trend, please give me some examples of hyperbole. Great! The new iPhone is bigger than bigger. We know that it is not possible. Advertisers are using hyperbole to emphasize that the new iPhone is really big. Great example. Boys only want love if it's torture. The singer Taylor Swift is not claiming that men want to be literally tortured in romantic relationships. She is using hyperbole to claim that men prefer relationships that are difficult and dramatic. And my last set of examples are the sixth age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloons. Number 2, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. Please give me a wise guess about the example stated above. Great! Personification is a figures of speech in which an idea or thing is given human attributes or feeling, or is spoken of as if it were human. This allows writers to create life and motion within an inanimate objects, animals, and even abstract ideas by assigning them recognizable human behaviors and emotions. After defining what personification is, can anyone state some examples based on our current problem here in our country? Great mind! Due to Typhoon Rolly, the wind is whispering outside. The tired old car coughed and whizzed and crawled down the street because of the flood. These sort of descriptions are common in literature. Uses several human qualities to create a vivid image of a very old car for the reader. And now, for your class activity, you will work on your respective groups. I will give you pictures of Mother Earth, and all you need to do is to come up with a short poem pertaining to a figurative language. Make sure to use the 5 figures of speech. I will be giving you 10 minutes to accomplish the task and write it in a pad of paper. Are my instructions clear? Thank you. So here are the pictures of Mother Earth. Number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. And now, you may now start working. Did you enjoy our lesson for today? Awesome! Now, can anyone define what figures of speech is? Wow, that was a brilliant mind. A figures of speech is a word or phrase using a figurative language. Language that has other meaning that is normal definition. In other words, figures of speech rely on implied or suggested meaning rather than a dictionary definition. Second, where can you possibly use the figures of speech? Wow, that was a cool idea. We express and develop them through hundreds of different rhetorical techniques, from specific types like metaphors, simile, and to more general forms like sarcasm and slang. And lastly, can anyone enumerate the 5 figures of speech? Great! The 5 figures of speech we tackle today are simile, metaphor, alliteration, hyperbole, and personification. And now for your short assessment, please get a piece of paper and analyze the following figures of speech and indicate on the space provided whether the statements are simile, metaphor, alliteration, hyperbole, and personification. Death, number 1. Death lies its icy hands on king. Number 2. My love for you is like a red rose. Number 3. He is a lion to his 3 daughters. Number 4. The wind wrapped its icy fingers around my body. And number 5. She sells seashells by the seashore. Number 6. She was a rock star at our last business presentation. 7th, she's going to die of embarrassment. Number 9, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. And number 9, Jane heard the last piece of cookie calling her name. And 10, during the house fire, my dad was as brave as lion. You may now pass your paper. Okay class, for your assignment, search for a short story in a book, whether fiction or non-fiction. Read that short story and choose and identify the different figures of speech used in that context. Make sure to write a short explanation regarding your answer. Write your assignment in a notebook. Again, this is Teacher Carlo, reminding you to always drink your water and have an alcohol. Thank you for watching to our 7th virtual English class.